Hey everybody, it's Josh. First of all, thanks so much for listening. Jack and I have an episode incoming with our good friend Tommy T, who lives in LA. So we did this one remotely. And first of all, you'll be able to see our faces up on YouTube during this episode at some point when we get the video edited. But second of all, for whatever reason, Tommy T's microphone malfunctioned a couple times for extended stretches during this episode. We did our best to edit it in post, as they say, and we really jacked up his microphone when that happened. But it is what it is, and the audio is not the best that it could be, and we apologize for that. But he was saying some really good things, so you can hear him a little bit. We didn't want to scrap the episode or do it again, and he was saying some really good stuff. So we did our best. We just want to acknowledge that before the episode started, that some of the audio is a little wonky, and we apologize for that. So we're going to get right into the episode. Thanks so much for listening, and enjoy.
Welcome to The Long List, a podcast that celebrates movies and other pop culture through the storied art of rankings. No wrong answers, no bad opinions, and hot takes always encouraged. I'm Jack Muller, and today I'm with my brother Josh Muller, as well as our very good friend Thomas Churchill. And on this episode, we are talking about the 1980 horror classic, The Shining. Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Of course. Thank you for being here, Tommy. Thomas, we have like 5 different names for you. We're going to be calling you Thomas, Tommy, Tommy T. It's all going to be happening.
Yes.
If that's all
Yeah,
right.
I just now found out your last name was Churchill. I thought it started with T for sure. So
For the last
just this
however
moment.
many years. Yep.
There you go. This is an exciting episode for multiple reasons. It's going to be our first proper seasonal episode, it being close to Halloween, which happens on Friday. And it's the first time we're bringing you on, Thomas, who you're one of my dearest friends. So it's great to have you here.
Well, I thank you. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to it. Although I haven't had a lot of time to like listen to your guys' podcast, I've been on the sidelines rooting very, very, very much because I'm like, you guys are fucking awesome. I love you guys. And like, yeah, I remember having our podcast back in like more like COVID era. And so it's cool to see like more movie podcasts like popping up. And yeah, I like the idea of, talking about lists because it always kind of boils down to like rankings and stuff.
Yeah, thanks. Those are kind words. We're happy to have you on, and that's kind of why, we were doing the list anyway. Why not just talk about it? So we're really happy to have you here.
Appreciate it.
See, looking back, we had a pretty interesting, like, kind of sliding doors beginning of our friendship. We were both going to San Francisco State for film. You were a year ahead of me, but we didn't really meet until you started making music with, like, my high school friends.
Yeah.
And then you and I clicked for sure on movies in that new friend group.
Yeah, it's a trip. I was talking to my homie Sammy J about this actually because we were in a music video that Anna shot, and Anna is how I know Ben, and Ben is how I met you guys. Like kind of you
that
through
makes
like
sense.
everybody. Yeah. So like this weird like spider web type of connection between like Bay Area people and like people in Southern California. And so yeah, it's like going to SF State for film and like being in those like same film circles, but also being like directly connected through like hip hop music, and then eventually like playing a lot of music together, listening to a lot of Grateful Dead, and just like now I'm just like a deep Deadhead for fucking ever, and like love them too. And so yeah, man, our friendship has had like a very very interesting connection. Yeah, it's crazy. I work at Trader Joe's right now, so every time I see someone in like the shirt, I'm like, yo, like that's sick.
Shout 'em out.
Pointing this out. Yeah.
The last time I was in Trader Joe's, I had a long conversation with one of the workers about the Grateful Dead. That's funny that you said that.
On point. But yeah, man, like love movies, and yeah, I really appreciate being here to talk about them.
Yeah.
Especially The Shining.
Especially The Shining, yeah. I'm glad I sent you kind of a long list, if you will, of different ideas, and that was one of the ones that stuck out to you, and I picked up on it right away. Took advantage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, twist your arm.
Yeah, right. So it's October. This is our first Halloween episode. Like I said, Josh, Do you get the spooky season itch? Are you a Halloween guy?
I really don't. Halloween's not really my thing. I got into it in my formative years. I don't know whether it's the fact that I have kids now and have to take them trick-or-treating. It's fun to see them get dressed up. I just don't get excited about it. And I'm not a big horror movie guy, which we've discussed in the past. And so it's not like something that I look forward to. I'm not against it. And there are some horror movies that I like. But it's not a season that I personally look forward to.
Thomas.
But, yeah.
What about you? I know.
Interesting. No, I think that's interesting. I just wasn't expecting that, just because, like I say, I work at a grocery store, so literally every person I talk to is like, "Yes, fall is here, Halloween is here. Let's talk about horror movies." It's like all turned up to like 1,000. And yeah, like I've always
when fall gets here, I want to watch like When Harry Met Sally, when the leaves turn.
That's cool. No, I totally feel that. Yeah, and like a good fall autumn like rom-com is definitely like, this is a great time to watch that if you're not into like watching horror movies, which I totally get, because like I was really outside of the genre, never really watched a lot of horror movies growing up. Only like a few here or there. So my whole thing with movies was, I grew up in a kind of a more strict Christian household, Baptist household, where no rated R movies, no rated M video games until like the end of high school. So I had to like sneak around to like get access to these things. I remember paying my homie Ivan to go buy a copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for me, or sneaking around, here's like a copy of Ishi the Killer that I got from Rasputin's and like gave to my friend Taylor. So like just like finding ways to like watch these movies and get access to this weird shit was always like a covert kind of thing. And so as I got into film school, one of my biggest things was like, I'm really just like going back and relearning and rewatching a lot of these classics and going back to like really appreciate them. So like, yeah, like I've been, over the last like 10 years, I've been really, really infatuated with the genre. I love. Nice. I think horror is one of the few genres that like transcends the form of film in a way that like it affects people in a completely different way. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of like really potent memories of like being in like group settings, watching horror movies, and just like feeling the waves of like fear and emotion like on a collective level is something that's like primal. That's like going to a concert. It's very different as opposed to like, I like watching Captain America beat the shit out of somebody, or it's like, it's like it's like when you're all scared together and you're all terrified of something collective, it's very different. And so like I just love the genre, and like watching stuff like The Shining like really kind of brings it back to like those like key things that make it so special.
Yeah, it's a great genre to see in the movie theaters if you're really watching one that hits for everybody. I mean, my most recent experience was Weapons, and it was like it was one of my favorite movie watching experiences, certainly of the year. Mainly because awesome. Everybody was just feeling it together,
Yeah. And I was also gonna say, over the past like 5 or 6 years, to get into the mood, I do like a franchise run for myself, where I just pick a franchise and watch every single horror movie in that franchise. And so this year I did The Exorcist, and I just finished the 6th film last night.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I always love the time of year when you start doing your franchise. And this year, I remember you posting about it, like, what should my franchise be? And I think that's kind of what started off the conversation of let's get an episode going. I think I said like, you should do Alien or something, and I was like, you should come on for the Alien pod and all this stuff, and hell yeah, we wound up on
which I'm still down for, because Alien is another movie I have a weird relationship with too, just because I don't know, I read the screenplay a lot over the last a couple of years for my job, because it was just integral to that. But that's a whole other conversation.
Sounds like a good one.
Yes, yeah. I was living in South Korea, working for a video game company, and one of the projects we were working on was heavily inspired by this first Alien movie, and so for that, I just dove really into that franchise too. So if you ever want someone to come talk about Alien versus Predator 2 Requiem, I can tell you about Alien versus Predator 2 Requiem.
Yes.
Sounds like you're going to be on the Alien pod.
Yeah,
I think we found our guy.
I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for the new
list
Predator.
is over now.
Yeah, I'm stoked for the new Predator too. I think it looks fucking sick.
Yeah. Did you see
Yeah.
Predator Killer of Killers, the animated one?
No, I need to catch up on like my animated ones. I also wanted to watch like the animated Lord of the Rings movie, but apparently that one's not good. So
I kind of liked it.
yeah. Oh, you kind of liked it? Okay.
Everybody hated it except for me.
Did everybody hate it? I
I
didn't
need
hear
to
that.
check it out.
Yeah, everybody hated it.
I need to check it out.
I didn't hate it.
Okay, that's good.
You can't win them all.
But you're not like not into horror movies though.
Not especially. I mean, some break through the cracks. I like this one. Alien is sick. You know, I don't like horror movies for the sake of liking horror movies, but the good ones that break through, I tend to. Well, I was going to say this earlier. It's a really interesting genre that has fervent fans and really like. Well, I guess you could say this about anything, but the difference between like the crappiest garbage horror movie and like something like The Shining is huge, and people love all of it, and that's really cool. It's just something that I don't necessarily gravitate towards. But then like something like, well, I don't know if we call Sinners a horror movie, but something like Sinners comes out, or Weapons, or something like that, and it's awesome, and it kind of takes over. I feel like people will go see horror movies in the theaters more than any other genre. Like the horror fans show out.
Yeah.
Like even Final Destination 75 or whatever just came out. Made like $100 million. You know? So right on.
Yeah, and I was in that theater opening weekend, and we were all applauding. Everyone in that theater was like, "We know what we're here to see.
That's awesome.
We're here to laugh at these people as they die." And it's like it's really morbid, but that's like
that's what you're there for, though.
That's the tone of this movie at that point.
Yeah.
It's so
crazy.
over the top.
It's crazy that like I feel like more than any other genre, the subgenres of this genre are like completely different types of movies. Like
Yes, yeah.
Like for me, I don't like campy horror really, or like the laugh edit horror, but I love something like like psychological thriller horror, like weird movie that's making you terrified and you don't know why. That I'll sign up for every time. So it can be a very dividing genre, I suppose, but at the same time, like you're saying, then there are the genre heads who love all of it and eat all of it up.
I think that's why it makes the genre so fascinating. And also going back to like lists and subgenres, it made my like top 5 Halloween movie list so hard because I was like looking at different things and I was like, what constitutes like a horror movie in like the subgenre space, and like kaiju movies were like in the sub of like Japanese monster horror movies, but it's like they're like action movies at that point because it's like doing something totally different. Like, you know, Godzilla is terrifying in some sense, but like in the long run, like it's not really that thing. And you mentioned Sinners, and like Sinners is like in Wikipedia is labeled as a horror film, but like watching it's more like a gothic genre, more like a gothic drama with like thriller aspects that turns into a horror movie in the last like
an action movie.
Yeah, and it really ramps up the horror in the last bit. But yeah, I don't know, a lot of those movies are really fun to kind of talk about because they touch on these different things. But yeah, I'm not really into like comedy horror. I don't like stuff where it's like too meta can get kind of not fun for me also because I don't necessarily talking about the rules of horror. I think that can get kind of boring. I prefer to give me like a possession, give me a demon, give me like a cult or something. Give me like that weird shit. I'm into all of that. But yeah, once it's just like, you know, who dies next? I'm just like, I don't care. Just give me something newer and weirder. So yeah, Weapons was fucking fun. I don't know if you guys swear on this podcast. I have a tendency to cuss when I'm talking about movies, but yeah,
we accept.
Oh, beautiful.
Go for it.
Yeah. Weapons was fucking awesome. And then Bring Her Back, I think, is probably the best horror movie of the year.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying stuff about that one recently.
Yeah. I thought it was fantastic.
The trailer was certainly the scariest thing I've ever seen. So, I'm interested in that one. And those two dudes did the one last year. They're blowing up. Can't think of their names.
Yeah,
Bad job on me.
Yeah, they're I think they're from New Zealand. And
They are.
Yeah, it's a directing duo, and they did Talk to Me, and Talk to Me is also really fun as well.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good little segue into our first list, which is top 5 Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Uh, decidedly not top 5 horror movies. This is something that will Josh and I probably had some workarounds here, and
Oh, I got workarounds.
We got creative with it probably. But Thomas,
Okay.
you are our guest. Let's have you start this one off, bud. Well, we also usually
thank
go
you.
from 5 to 1, just to let you know.
Okay, for sure. As a new guest on the
touche.
show, I'm going to kind of bend the rule by bringing in an honorable mention.
For crying out loud.
Just an honorable mention.
joking.
Josh usually does like 7 movies.
I do like 12 movies sometimes. It's a long list. It's not the 5 list.
Yeah, I love it.
You do whatever you want.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, for honorable mention, I'm having The Exorcist 1973 on the list because I think it's one of those movies that's like incredibly well done, well made, well shot. All like the makeup, it's all really awesome for like 1973. A lot of practical effects, but also I don't know if you two are like familiar with like the lore around the movie itself, but there's like a lot of weird shit that happened on set.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of like deaths like connected to the movie. There was a fire on like the lot, and the building they're filming the movie burned down, like everything burned inside the house except the room where Regan's bedroom. So like
Damn.
everything. So like yeah, like this just like weird shit like connected to this movie. So I like when horror movies have like that deeper reputation.
Real death surrounding.
It's unfortunate. It's very sad that these tragedies are attached to it, but it's like it adds to like the lore of like watching this horror movie, because when you fire it up, like watch it at night, turn off all the lights, it like The Shining, like the second you
like
turn
The
it
Shi-
on,
I was gonna say.
it starts to suck you
There's
in.
something
Like,
else
it's just
going
like-
on.
Yeah, it just feels different than other horror movies, and so I just want to give that one a shout out.
Plus our guy, William Friedkin.
Yeah, that freaky boy.
Freaky freaking.
And Max von Sydow as the priest is just like, when he shows up in that film, it's just like it's unreal. It's just so insane. So yeah, number 5, I have Halloween 1978.
Yeah.
I think it's another masterclass in just like slow burn, building things up, but also
definitely.
I also appreciate just like the suburban Halloween setting. Jamie Lee Curtis as just like, she just is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, just everything, just like the slow following cameras and just like the distant shots makes everything just feel really menacing and really real. And it makes you kind of reevaluate your own space when you're just like walking around. It's like that danger of like, you never know what's like a couple blocks down just because you're just not thinking about it. Because, it's just one of those things that's in the back of your mind. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think Halloween, the original one, nails it.
I saw this.
There's...
My bad.
Go ahead.
I saw this really cool like painting, this piece of artwork that was essentially a movie poster, but it was like a helicopter shot, or like it was above the town, above the house, and it had all these little details of like kids over here and all these like different scenes within the one photo, and it really captured kind of the essence of like, you're in this one little small town throughout this film, anything could happen, like nobody's safe. I don't know, it was just really cool and encapsulated the movie so perfectly in that one little piece of art.
And then, at number 4, I have Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. I think...
that is incredibly specific.
Yeah, I think the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is definitely, like, one of the better franchises in horror, because it's, like, the most fun and does the craziest shit. And Dream Warriors is dope because it has, like, its own 80s, like, hair metal theme song that plays at the end of it, where it's like I don't even want to try to impersonate it, but it's like a really over the top like 80s like Dream Warriors like fucking rocking ass like hard rock song, and it's like it's just so over the top and sick that it comes together as this really awesome package that represents 80s slashers like at their height, because there's a lot of like really kind of boring slasher movies, for lack of better words, where it's just like a killer going through a space and killing a bunch of people. But with the Freddy franchise, you have this whole thing of like he's in their dreams, and so they have to like go into people's dreams to fight Freddy. So in Dream Warriors, it's about the kids fighting back and like finding ways to be dream warriors in their own minds to fight back Freddy. So it's a really cool kind of like, yeah, Freddy's been like terrorizing these kids for a couple of movies, and now the kids are finally fighting back, and it's like it's just super sick. And I think it takes place in a mental institution, and so you have like the enclosed space, and then yeah, just crazy practical effects just all over the place, and just insane, ridiculous kills. So yeah, highly recommend that.
Awesome.
Yeah, and going along with the thread of practical effects, at number 3, I have The Thing, 82.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Made my long list.
Talking to my I was talking to my homie Johnny about this years ago, but yeah, it's just like one of those movies that's just like,
got it on 4K.
hell yeah, I need to do that. I'm very jealous of that. Yeah, it's just one of those horror movies that just like feels like a fucking horror movie. It's hard to, even though it's kind of like a redundant thing to say, but it's like when you're watching it, it's just like everyone is suspect. You don't know what's going to happen at any moment in this movie. And then when shit starts to happen, it's just like fucking terrifying. The creatures in this movie are just absolutely insane. And so, yeah, the thing itself is quite the formidable beast. And then, yeah,
it's
not
great.
To spoil it, but yeah, it's like the way the movie ends is just like a perfect, like paranoid kind of moment where it really isn't. You're not really sure, like, if everything is being resolved or not. And so,
right,
yeah,
that's like that's the beauty of it.
But yeah, Thing, fucking badass fucking movie. Yeah, incredible practical effects. And then yeah, at my number 2, I have Alien 1979. Yeah, that's one where I think it's incredibly well done and well made, and one of those movies where like I think about the actors about the movie a lot, especially like being in the physical space of the Nostromo must have been like incredible, or like in those sets and like just kind of not being able to see the alien and just like just treating it like Jaws in space, and yeah, it's just an incredibly fucking visceral experience.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, and then at number 1, my favorite horror movie of all time, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's one.
I'm scared.
I highly recommend.
It's really scary.
Yeah, I highly recommend.
I'm scared.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, who wants to get into the horror genre, because I think it touches on kind of all the things I mentioned about like tone and acting and great practical effects and like a really good use of space and like a small space. And
yeah,
it's kind of like one of the first kind of like really like grimy slasher movies of this genre, coming out in 74, pretty like early on. And
hold on, give me a second here, guys.
Yeah,
we don't care about the dog. It's fine.
Yeah, the dog can join the podcast. I don't know. The dog can be the guest number 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just like a very deep eeriness to that movie, because everything like it's just so, it feels so, since it's so low budget and so grimy, it just feels like you're watching like actual shit kind of go down. And
yeah,
Leatherface is
feels like a documentary almost.
Yeah, and Leatherface is one of like the best horror fucking villains of all time, because it's just like
scary.
Every time he's on screen, it's just like, I don't even want to be looking at this. Like this, everything feels really wrong here. I feel like no one should be on this farm at all. And then we talked about this on Vague Zone. Shout out to Vague Zone in a little long hiatus, but it's okay. We're still out here. If we want to rejoin, we can always
let's do it
back. You can always bring it back. The door's always open. But yeah, like with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we were talking about like how there's like the way it's edited is just like it's done in a very specific way, and it does like a lot of like weird like cuts where it'll show you an image multiple times before like actually going into it. And Jack said, it feels like a documentary. It feels very real, and yeah, it's just everything about that movie just kind of like elevates it to where it just feels really special. And yeah,
I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's
despite
classic.
a couple of audio glitches,
Ed Gein.
that is my top 5. Yeah, Ed Gein. Yes.
Ed Gein, man. I haven't watched that show, but I know that he was a huge inspiration to Leatherface.
Oh yeah. There's a Netflix thing on him right
Yeah, he has a new show. I don't know. I heard it's not that good. I'm probably not going to watch it. Josh, what's your top 5 favorite Halloween movies?
All right. I want to stress that these are Halloween, not horror movies.
Yeah, I'll be doing the same thing. Don't worry, bud.
First is also Alien. I had Alien at number 5, just like Tommy T had it at number 2 or 3 or whatever. Great movie. Love Alien. Then I had The Batman that came out a few years ago. It took place on Halloween. I'm counting it. Okay. Then I had Halloween, which is a great movie. John Carpenter movie. Tommy T already talked on it. I don't have to wax poetic. Even though it's scary, it is a fantastic movie. Number 2, I had Ghostbusters. Hell yeah. Number 1.
Nice. That's a good call. I can't believe I didn't do that.
I don't know if it's technically a Halloween movie, but it's got ghosts. I'm counting it.
Yeah.
And number 1, I had E.T. because I love E.T. and they trick or treat and they dress up for Halloween and it's awesome.
That counts.
There's my top 5 Halloween movie list.
That definitely
counts. There you go. Yeah, my list. We're either gonna gain some listeners or lose some listeners on this one, baby. But we'll see how it works. Number 5, I've got Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. That's right. I love this movie.
Is that the one with the chili peppers?
Yes. It takes place. Takes place in the bayou, and it is legitimately. There are legitimately some scary moments in this. From my memory, I haven't seen it in a while. Also, Third Eye Blind did the Scooby-Doo theme for it, so that's rockin' and badass. Good job by them. Number 4, I too have E.T. Probably has one of the best Halloween set pieces in film history. I gotta say, though it is not a Halloween movie. Great Halloween scene. Yeah, sure. Number 3, I've got Harry Potter.
I'm picturing, No, they had a good time. They had a really good time. Like, gotta take ET out. You gotta have fun with the kids. It's a really good scene.
Right. The mom's all upset. She's dressed up like the cat, and she's all sad and like hitting the candle. It's a great scene. Number 3, I've got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Sure, it's not a Halloween movie, but it might be maybe the best cozy fall movie. If you've never done a binging of the entire series, sometime between October 1st and December 25th, just do it because you just got to once. It's a great cozy fall movie. And it spawned a huge generation of Halloween costumes. So it's full of witches, wizards, and ghouls.
Valid.
Goblins. It's a Halloween movie. Sure. Not really.
Yeah.
Number 2, I've got Silence of the Lambs. Takes place in cold, dreary Baltimore. It's probably my go-to scary movie other than The Shining. I'm obviously not including The Shining on this list. And number 1, I've got the 1995 classic horror film. No, not horror film. I can't believe I just said that. I've got Casper.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's kind of all right. So this is a film about a dad who buys a haunted mansion and moves in with his kid who starts hanging out with ghosts. Is it PG The Shining or not? I think so. It also rocks a pretty epic Halloween party climactic set piece at the end. So there you go. It's a good Halloween movie. Ghosts, it's great. Christina Ricci, classic. Bill Pullman? Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Bill Pullman. Our guy.
Yeah, Bill Pullman.
All right.
And that guy from Monty Python, I can't remember his name.
Ooh, yeah. Then why'd you even mention him? Because now we're all going to look like idiots not knowing this famous actor's name.
Christopher Guest.
He'll be fine.
No, not Christopher Guest.
He's like, nope.
It is. Awesome. I got it right here. Eric Idle. There you go.
There we go.
All right. Let's get into it. The Shining. Thank you. Yours is good too. Yours was an actual probably right. Everybody else's horror movie or Halloween movie list.
Yeah, but also I was worried because most of mine were all before 1990, and so I know for a lot of people the modern stuff is what really is potent, is the stuff to talk about, and all of the A24 stuff and a lot of those movies I really love, but I was I think in terms of horror that I think is worth being let's dive horror or Halloween.
Yeah.
I tend to go old school.
One for the
I
classics.
mean, I chose one movie that was newer than 1984. So
I chose a Scooby-Doo movie. So you're fine, Tommy. You don't have to.
That Scooby-Doo movie. Really
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It is a good movie. All right, The Shining. Let's get into it. 1980 psychological horror film directed by Stanley Kubrick, screenplay by Kubrick and Diane Johnson, of course, based off the novel by Stephen King. It stars Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Scatman Crothers, Danny Lloyd. It was Kubrick's 11th film, which marks his third decade of filmmaking. Good job by him. He
Pretty good.
Made it into the 90s too, so he got 4 of them down.
Insane.
Yeah, this movie's about a family who moves into a hotel over the winter to take care of it, and the hotel ends up being haunted. The dad ends up being alcoholic, who's writer who's going insane, and the son ends up being what's the word?
Psychic.
Why am I can't come up with the word right now. Yeah, a psychic.
Yeah. What is the word?
Wikipedia says clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance. Thank you.
Okay,
It's a
that's
perfect
not the
word.
word I was. Medium. Medium, is that the word? Anyway, clairvoyance. We like that better.
Yeah,
Hella psychic.
clairvoyance, hella psychic. Can definitely see things before they happen, amongst other powers.
That's hella psychic.
Did okay at the box office. It came out the same weekend as Empire Strikes Back.
Tough beat.
It was tough beat. It was the third highest that weekend, but was also shown on 50 less screens. So comparatively, it didn't do terribly. People did not like this movie really much at all when it first came out. It's funny hearing nowadays all of the people who do like it, who saw it at the time, pretty much overwhelmingly all were like, I didn't like this movie at first, but I couldn't stop thinking about it, and then ended up liking it. But yeah, didn't do great in the reviews. No nominations from anything, from any awards, let alone the Academy. From in your guys' opinion, of the 4 big awards, which do you think it was most snubbed for? By the 4 big ones, I mean Best Picture, Director, Actor, and Actress.
I mean, I don't know what else was nominated that year. I don't have that pulled up.
I've got the lists up. So which one do you want to hear?
Off the top of my head, I would say director.
So director is actually the one that it might be the tightest race, surprisingly. But for Best Director was Robert Redford, Ordinary People, who won. David Lynch for The Elephant Man. Scorsese for Raging Bull. Richard Rush for The Stuntman. Don't know it. And Roman Polanski for Tess.
Okay.
Never seen it.
So he's at least
We could
amongst
sneak
other.
in
You
Kubrick in that category.
Let's bump out Richard Rush, whoever that bum is.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah. But yeah, the other ones, I think they all could have, it should have been represented. It could have been represented. Maybe not pictured, just because people really don't like it at first, and it's a pretty weird movie. But I mean, actor, De Niro won. De Niro won for Raging Bull. Robert Duvall was nominated for The Great Santini. John Hurt for Elephant Man. O'Toole for Stuntman, and Jack Lemmon for Tribute. And I think Shelley Duvall is great.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen most of those other nominees, but yeah, and it is crazy to kind of look at this movie in terms of like awards and be like, yeah, it was snubbed, but yeah, it's also like, yeah, the things like we value of it are like might not have been like I don't know, like what are we talking in terms of like the value of the Academy, what they're looking for is completely different in terms of like what audiences gravitate towards, and I guess the directing
100%
is like the thing that sticks out the most about this movie, but then I guess they might not have been able to divorce it from like oh, it's just like the acting is off-putting and the movie is off-putting and like all of it is just like this mystery box. Therefore, it is just a bad movie and it's not well directed, even though it's like no, it took like a genius and a puppet master to make all of this work in a weird orchestrated like perfection that is what it is. But yeah, it's like looking at it in terms of that, it's a
pretty
see, like,
tough hang on like a initial watch without knowing there's a lot of weight to it and theories and fun stuff to break down.
I was rewatching it the other night, and one scene that I thought was like fucking just absolutely phenomenal in terms of just straight up acting, is the scene where Shelley Duvall is, the character Winnie is rehearsing telling Jack that they have to leave, and she's like talking through it while she's like smoking a cigarette alone in the bedroom, and she's just like, we're gonna have to go do this, and then like we're just gonna have to wait for the people to come get us, and if they're not gonna go, we're just gonna have to, and then she's like slowly breaking down and crying as she's like getting further into the rehearsal, and I was just like, that's just masterclass stuff right there. She's just like alone in the room with a cigarette, and it's like probably take 50, who knows like how many times she's done it. So, so it's just
definitely
like, really great.
Almost a guarantee that it's take 50.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Shelley Duvall.
It's probably take 2, and they made her do 50 more takes.
Yeah. And it had Jack Nicholson screaming at her whenever the camera wasn't rolling. So, you know, kind of what we're getting at with the Oscar talk is the movie, you know, went on to become a huge classic. I mean, it did great in home media. It was on TV always growing up, I feel like, which is where I started seeing it, and got to see it, you know, in pieces, and is now extremely iconic. This movie gives us, I mean, I think all three main characters are iconic amongst themselves, three main meaning Jack, Wendy, and Danny. It gives us Here's Johnny, which was a classic line that I feel like, you know, people know the Here's Johnny from The Shining and don't realize that it's a classic line from Homie.
Johnny Carson,
Johnny Carson,
that's such a weird cultural thing because it's like, Here's Johnny has transcended even people who don't even know what a like late night talk show is. They're like, oh yeah, it's like here it could be a reference to this. It's like it's just such a strange
kind of like all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. People will say that, probably don't know that it comes from The Shining. The Overlook Hotel is iconic. The twin girls come play with us, Danny.
Definitely.
Super iconic. The maze is pretty iconic itself at the end. Maybe not the most, but I mean, I can't think of a maze, you know, without thinking of this movie. Seeing a maze without thinking of this movie. I actually did a pumpkin patch maze for the first time a couple weeks ago. Pretty terrifying. Not easy. We had to go out. An emergency exit. I'm not lying. We couldn't figure it out. I know. I was like, oh, I got this down, and I was just like, nah, I have no idea how to get out of this thing.
That's very fair. I feel like I don't think I would want to do one if that was not an option.
Right. I was glad to see that there were, and I was scared that I was going to get yelled at. There wasn't something that said, feel free to use this door. I was just like, I'm just going to go for it.
Getting in trouble for getting lost in the maze. Like, this is your fault.
Let's kind of start getting into it a little bit. I recently ranked this movie as my 8th favorite movie of all time. Tommy, we did our top 25 movies of all time for our 25th episode. And this showed up as my number 8. Josh, you hadn't really seen it until pretty recently. Can we hear your thoughts?
I mean, I'd seen it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's been
pieces,
on TV 100%.
You know?
Right. You got the gist.
I can't remember if or when the last time I just sat down and watched The Shining, and I had it. Hang on, it's up here somewhere.
I believe you.
Well, whatever. It's on there. I have the 4K. It's been sitting on my it's been sitting on my shelf for over a year on the 4K, and you know, Becky wanted to watch it too, and so every time I'm like, should we watch The Shining? She's like, fuck no, like a bunch of times. So then I was like, hey, we're doing The Shining in the podcast, so we gotta watch it. She's like,
it's time.
Let's do it, you know. And she liked it. She liked it a lot. I liked it. It's really good. I don't. How do I say this? I think it's a movie that will probably benefit from rewatches, and it's not one that I'm like super juiced to like sit down and rewatch again. Like, I think the people that love this movie love it because there are so many details, which I'm sure we're gonna get into, that you can notice over multiple viewings.
Yeah.
And that's great, and I totally respect it, and that's awesome. I just don't know if I'm going to become one of those people. I think it's a movie I respect more than I enjoy. Does that make sense?
Very fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
Like, I love the shots. You know, I love the symmetry of what he's putting in the frame. Love the tone of the movie. I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorites, but I really enjoy and respect it. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad. Thomas, I'd like I'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, like,
Yeah, I don't know as far as
it's
like,
a big film
rankings,
nerd movie.
Yeah, because again, it's not in my my Halloween list, and if I'm thinking about like top 5 horror movies of all time, I think it would still be like either like number 5 or like an honorable mention, just because like I said, yeah, I kind of go with what Josh is saying. It's like you have to respect it. You don't necessarily have to like really enjoy it or like it, but you have to know like this is something that is a true tentpole for the genre.
Yeah, I could definitely just watch this movie a bunch of times. I've really realized this week preparing for this. It's just like, let me just throw on, the moment that Danny first goes by, or like the second time he's making his laps, cruising around in his little tricycle, or I don't know. There's also a lot of like interesting things that happen multiple times that it makes it kind of confusing when you throw it on. Like if I were to throw it on TV and Danny's, making one of his loops, I wouldn't exactly know where I was at first. I would need to like wait a second. It's also super long, and it's like about halfway through the movie that it really amps up. And kind of when Mr. Halloran starts getting sucked back into it and, getting the feeling like something's going bad. The first part is more just creepy, and then it gets like really gnarly. So there's kind of different phases of it. Movie's fascinating to me. And I have a weird thing that I really get a lot of enjoyment out of watching this movie, even though it's super effed up.
That's not a weird thing. It's a classic. People love it.
Yeah, but it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, talking to Alex about it, she's like, I really don't want to watch this movie right now. It's super gnarly. I'm like, I'm sorry, but she actually really likes it, which is helpful for me. It was very helpful that Alex likes this movie this week.
Nice. That's what Daniel said to me when I was like, I like watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's like, I don't really like watching this. he's like, I recognize it as fucking sick, but like to have it on several times is a completely different thing. And so I'm like, I get it. I'm a different.
Yeah, Chainsaw Massacre is super creepy. This movie is like we're implying, it's kind of a tough hang. We usually like to do either like would like to get a drink, like a list where we do top 5 people we would like to get a drink with, or top 5 people we would not like to get a drink with in movies.
Could go either way with this one.
Could really swing either way with this one, to a point where it probably would not be interesting to hear us talk about it. So I had to come up with some sort of variation on that. So I came up with top 3 people in this movie, and I couldn't think of many more people, so I limited it to 3 people. Top 3 people in this movie you would be at least fine being stuck in a hotel with for a whole winter. Mm-hmm. Josh, how about you take us off with this one? Who you got?
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into this because there's not many people.
No.
So, I mean, where do you go?
Dig deep.
So, here are the 3 people I came up with. First one, number 3, Lloyd the bartender. He's very creepy, but at least he's supplying alcohol.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Whether it be in
number 2
in dreams or not.
It seems pretty real to Jack, so I'm going with it.
Real enough.
Number 2, I'm going with the dispatch officer, who I don't know his name, but he seemed like a real nice dude. And every time Shelley Duvall calls him, he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll call all these people and do it again.
Yeah.
And when Dick Halloran calls him back, hey, can you call me in 20 minutes? Yeah, no problem. He's just like, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I want that guy
he was
to
my
hang
number
out
2
with
as
me.
well.
He's solid. Yeah.
And then number 1, I don't really know how you don't have Dick Halloran as number 1. He was my number 1. So Scatman Crothers acted Dick Halloran.
So just because it's pretty similar to mine, I did for my number 3, I did the doctor, the psychiatrist lady at the front, or at the beginning of the movie.
Oh.
She just seems to know what she's talking about, and is nice to Danny, and definitely
That's not bad.
Feels the red flag of what's going on in the situation. Number 2, I also had the guy on the radio, the dispatcher, and number 1, I had Mr. Halloran. So
Of course.
weren't a lot of people to go from.
There's
Tommy,
only like 7 people in this movie.
Tommy, did you do this one?
Yeah, not a deep pool. Yeah, I thought about it a little bit. Yeah, I thought I was like, I thought it'd be fine to have Danny around. I feel like if you're cool with Danny, then everything's great.
He's
Like
helpful,
nothing,
right?
yeah, it's not things are gonna go good. He can tell you when the snow is gonna fall, when the mail's gonna show up.
Right. And if
There's no
if
mail
Wendy
showing up.
and Jack aren't there, then you could just Danny could just be happy. Like Mr. Halloran's a
Yeah.
good guy. He shines and he's not a
And
little
if things
freak.
start shining, you want to have someone who knows about it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and then I think my 2-in-1s are basically the same thing. Yeah, it's like yeah, it'd be nice to have Jake Halloran as number one. I think he's the homie. He's there to help you out.
He's
He
great.
is the true homie. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll come right back. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Kubrick a little bit. Yeah.
Also,
Shining.
if we haven't fixed it in post, and we might have, Tommy T's audio is now back to normal.
Yeah.
He's back, everybody.
He's back.
Hello.
Hopefully, we fix that in post, and this doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jack. Yeah. All right, Kubrick. I'm gonna try to fly right through this. Legendary filmmaker, of course. Insane filmography. Literally, only bangers, pretty much. True auteur as far as writer, director, visionary. Dr. Strangelove, Clockwork Orange, and Barry Lyndon were all nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Screenplay. 2001 was nominated for Director and Screenplay, not Best Picture. Full Metal Jacket nominated for Best Screenplay. He was overall, I think he personally, in all of those pictures, by the way, were his nominations. He was also a producer on those films.
Right.
Overall, he was nominated, I think, for 13. He only won for special effects for 2001, which
Oh,
was like,
wow.
why was he nominated, like, as under his name? Why was he, how did he get that?
Yeah.
I guess I got to look into that a little bit more. He's extremely meticulous and calculated for his entire production, story, details, camera work. Kind of led to some gnarly situations on set, which we can touch on later, maybe. As far as camera work goes, though, probably one of the most innovative, important, and influential directors with the use of camera work. He believed that every frame should be like a painting, have a function, evoking emotion, meaning, psychology. He said, the truth of a thing is in the feel of it, not the think of it, which I like.
Yeah.
Signature kind of look is perfectly centered shots, symmetrical framing, use of 1-point perspective where all the lines converge kind of at the central vanishing point, which honestly probably comes up the most in The Shining, I gotta say.
Yeah. He's
As
also
does the
really good at
Steadicam
like
use.
the depth of field where like the things in the background are still in focus. I don't know if that's lenses he's using or whatever,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
he's really good at like everything in the shot is in focus, even in like way in the background.
Yeah, but he's a huge fan of wide lenses and deep focus. 18
Yeah.
millimeter lenses is his
Yeah.
specific that he likes to use amongst others.
One of the
Sorry.
I was gonna say one of the big aspects of that is also like keeping things well lit, and it's like keeping things like it's one thing to be like, okay, like I have depth of field, and we're like, there's not a lot of stuff to like really look at, but here specifically in The Shining, the fact that you have this hotel filled with so many details, you have paintings in the background, small pictures, little pieces of artwork, like a lot of like the Native American iconography and imagery, and like a lot of relics, and so it has there's so much stuff to look at, and it's all very well lit, and that's like one of the parts of that equation that makes things really work well with the movies. And you can go back to like Citizen Kane and like deep focus and all that shit. It's just like it's lenses and light, the balance. Of that.
Yep. And funny enough, he was like a huge fan of natural lighting, which must have made it extremely difficult because with deep focus, it needs to be lit extremely precisely. So that means, another thing with being on set with him was probably very much like time is of the essence. People, let's get it going. Daylight is, going away quickly. He also used a Steadicam a bunch, which was new technology at the time. He was always a big fan of new technology. Let's just, we're talking about him being such a great camera worker. Let's get into top 5 best shots.
I'm into it.
Nice.
T, hit us off.
So yeah, I think my favorite is definitely gonna start off with like anything that's like a slow tracking shot that's like from really high up, especially the ones in the beginning when we're getting like these tracking shots of the car like driving and approaching through the mountains and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just feels really eerie, kind of just being so distant from the car. Like, yeah, especially in like that first opening sequence. I would say that's number 5. Number 4, I would have to put, this kind of goes into like the what the fuck moments a little bit too. But at the end when Shelley.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of, I should say, there's going to be a bunch of different crossovers. I feel like between best shots, we're going to do what the fuck moments. We're going to do scariest moments and best scenes.
There's going to be some
be interchangeable.
Okay.
Oh, definitely. So,
Okay.
Sorry, continue.
Okay, so I guess number 4 for sure is you have Wendy when she's like running around the hotel towards the end. There's a part where she is going up the stairs and like both sides of the wall are like lit with like these bars kind of going down, and it's like kind of like on the nose, be like, yeah, she's like trapped inside of a prison kind of thing. But it's just a really like perfectly kind of done moment where like all of the light is emanating from the bottom like of the staircase, like it's coming from this source we don't necessarily see, but she's just like there holding the knife, kind of just like going back and forth, and it's just some real good horror shit. Love that.
Yeah, her knife wielding at the end is it turns into true slasher horror movie in those moments. It's great.
Yeah.
Becky said she runs like a Muppet when we were watching it.
She's really elastic and moves around. And it's funny she says Muppet because recently I watched the Popeye movie with Robin Williams, and she plays Olive Oyl.
Robert Altman movie.
Yeah, and she plays Olive
Robert
Oyl.
Altman.
Yeah, and and it's a musical. In that movie, she's very much just like moving around, like she's just very animated in a way that like. She like brought that character to life in a way that I was like, this is just kind of surreal. Like she's really fantastic in that movie.
That movie is surreal.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip.
It's a weird one.
Allegedly one of the most cokiest sets of all time.
That's what I heard.
And it shows up on the screen, and that's what matters. it's all there. It's like you gotta watch that movie. It's
a weird movie.
It's a 5 out of 5.
I haven't seen it. Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
5 out of 5. Wow.
It's an unironic 5 out of 5 for me.
Man.
Wow. I haven't seen it since I was like 9
happy
years
you're
old.
on this pod too.
Yeah.
Are you a big Letterboxd dude?
Yes, I am.
Hell
Definitely
yes.
Yeah, been hitting.
Jack, get on it,
Been
dude.
hitting it hard.
All right. I'm sorry.
I'll say number 3. I like Dick Halloran in bed, like watching the news with like the black black power woman naked with the afro. I'm just like, this is fucking awesome. Like
Couple of them.
Not only above his bed, but above the TV that he's facing.
Just so you don't forget. So that I just love that. It's just, and that's another great like example of symmetry. He's like literally like in bed, dead center, like feet like in the middle, and like the TV. So like there's ways where Kubrick kind of flexes very subtly, and I think that's one of them for sure. And then kind of
we didn't do director flexes. That's crazy.
I thought about that last night, but then I was like, you know what? We got too many lists, so we're just gonna let it go.
Yeah, we can sprinkle it in.
A lot of these things are flexes, to Tommy's point.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, is one of the theories from Room 237 was like, it's like Kubrick was bored, and like he just filled this movie with tons of secrets, and it's kind of hard to argue against that because it's fucking filled with a lot of secrets, and it's filled with a lot of weird images, and it's just a mystery box of a movie. Number 2, I would have to give a shout out to the tracking shots of Danny with the tricycle going through. I think I like the simplicity of the first one because it's just him just going through that main ballroom, but just the fact that it's such an iconic, like really low, him on the tricycle, and it's just like there's no music, it's just the sound of the wheels on the wood. It's just it's just dope. It works really, really nicely.
Really effective.
Simplicity is a good word for it. I like
Yeah.
that because they start getting real weird pretty much once the second one happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and then number one, I would have to say I really like Jack, and like Jack kind of in the darkness of the labyrinth at the end. Oh, not labyrinth, the hedge maze, labyrinth theory shit, Minotaur weird shit. Yeah, I'm into.
Nice.
Him in the snow with the axe, just like one light in the background. It's just fucking gorgeously shot, and it's just it's like you don't really see stuff like that quite as much anymore. There are movies that do try, like especially horror movies that do try to like really kind of get intimate and like kind of low with that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a budget thing. It takes a lot of money and a lot of time to just like fill that space with like that, you know, the snow and all of it just works really well.
Yeah, I was pretty struck by the filmmaking in the maze scene this last time of watching it because I was just like, man, it is dark and it really seems like it is snowing super hard. And I don't know how they filmed this on film, in 1980, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also crazy, he just gave 5 and not a lot of repeats on my list. So that kind of goes to show that really well composed shots in this movie.
Yes.
All right. Well, Josh, let's hear yours.
All right, so number 5, I got this shot of when Jack's in the closet or refrigerator or wherever he's in, and he's trying to convince Shelley Duvall to let him out. And it's like you're looking down
it's from the bottom.
From the bottom up, like between him and the door. And it's really a unnerving shot. It's, when he decided to do it like that, that's pretty cool. I have the overhead shot of the maze when Jack is looking down at the maze, like the model of it, and then you can see them in there. I'm like, what's going on there? Then I love the shots in the writing room. We touched on it, the depth of field where he's writing. You're looking from him from behind, and she enters the room way off in the distance and slowly walks over to him. That's sort of the depth of field we were talking about earlier. Love the long hallway shots. You could take your pick. Probably the ones where Danny's riding the tricycle are my favorite, but any of those where it's just a long hallway and the symmetry matches up, it's just really good. It looks great. So any one of those. And then, Tommy, again, you touched on it. The opening drive, I have the very first shot in the movie where the helicopter's coming across the lake and you go over the island and it just barely passes over. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen any part of this movie, and I was just like, I'm in 100% on the first shot. It was great. So that's my
Especially
favorite shot.
Especially in 4K, that one hit hard.
It looked good.
This was the first time. This was the first. I bought a new 4K player, or I bought my first 4K.
Hell
player.
yes.
Put in this movie. That was the first thing I saw on it. I was like,
it's great.
Worth it.
Hell yeah! I need to do exactly that.
Yeah.
Get one, dude.
It's going to happen. It's going
one
to
of us.
Christmas is coming up, T. I take advantage of it.
No, the birthday is coming up sooner. The birthday is coming up in a month.
True.
So
when's your birthday?
In a month. Literally a month from now.
Mine's December 4th, so we're pretty close.
Yeah, I'm November 13th.
Oh. Nice.
All right, real quick. Some of the, I had some repeats. I have 7 down here. Number 7, it's a quick one. It is, I thought about doing this in my scariest moments, but it is in the the doctor scene when she's telling the doctor about the story of Danny dislocating his shoulder.
Yeah.
And the doctor has been super kind and like very sweet and normal throughout the whole scene. She asks, how did he manage to do that? That's like the last time you see the doctor, and then it switches over to Wendy, and you get the whole story, and you're just seeing Wendy the whole time.
Yeah.
And then finally, when she's done with the story, it switches back to the doctor, and she has the gnarliest look on her face. And she's just so aware of like what Wendy is trying to work around, and then the scene just ends. It gives me the chills just to think about. Number 6, I've got the first time you see the blood coming through the elevator. Iconic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Classic.
Don't know how they did it. Super terrifying. And it's kind of like the first true horror thing you get in the movie without any explanation. It's just like super scary. You're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it happens
number 5
early.
I've got happens really early. Number 5 I've got Mr. Halloran and the Snowcat coming down like the
Oh,
tree-lined
yeah.
road.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little long shot, super beautiful and like well done. Number 4 I have the opening helicopter, tracking shot above, the car. Number 3, I have kind of the depth of field, the same kind of scene you were talking about, but when Wendy is walking in and Jack is typing, and the score, we haven't even talked about the music yet. It is pretty much a character in this movie. The score is just vamping or getting louder and louder. The strings, it's super scary. And then right at the last moment when she finally gets to him, he rips off the piece of paper so she can't see it. And,
Yeah.
it is like a peak in the music. It's great. Number 2, I have when Danny goes to see, super scary scene, when Danny goes to see, he goes into the room to try to like get his toy or something and isn't supposed to wake isn't supposed to wake Jack. He's
Oh, yeah.
obviously already up. And then there's this shot of behind Jack,
With him in the mirror.
looking towards Danny, and he's in the mirror, and he just looks absolutely insane.
Yeah,
and
that's a
there's
good
like
one.
there's probably 10 different mirror shots in this movie. It mirrors the other shots, it's kind of like a foreshadow to the other shots. One of the big ones is Jack in the bathroom with the scary lady, and the other one in that same room, it's kind of like a foreshadow for that one, is the red rum where Wendy sees
Yeah. Oh,
red
yeah,
rum
good point.
backwards. And it's in the same mirror, so nice
Yeah.
little thing there going on there.
Yeah. Nice.
And number 1, I have Danny's first cruising, and I did the first one specifically because it's clean, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's a really great exploration of the hotel, and the sound is great, like you said. Good job, guys. All right, so what's going on in this movie? Certainly
don't
not
know.
your straightforward. Yeah,
What's going on in this?
Great
definitely
question.
definitely not your straightforward horror film, but at the same time, on the surface, it's kind of a straightforward, like, psychological thriller about a man going insane, or is kind of a straightforward haunted house movie.
Yeah.
But just kind of the fact that they mixed those two and threw in a bunch of crazy shit as well, just makes for a one-of-a-kind experience, kind of.
Yeah, it's interesting. You kind of took the words out of my mouth with the on the surface thing. Like, on the surface, you can just go in and enjoy this as a straight up horror movie that doesn't have a lot of layers to it because it's beautifully shot. It's very effective. All the elements to build the horror are really well crafted. And then, Tommy, earlier you mentioned Room 237, the documentary about all the theories. Like, even if you don't go into that, you can still enjoy it. But there's so much to enjoy if you decide to dissect it frame by frame.
Yeah.
And what are they meaning by this? And what does this mean? And are the different theories valid or whatever? Like, you can really deep dive this movie and get so much more out of it should you choose to.
Yeah, it's a fantastic example of, like, if you like watch a movie in a vacuum, you watch this movie by yourself and ask no questions about it. But yeah, that was good. But the second you start to like interrogate literally anything in the movie, it starts to crumble in on itself, and then you're lost inside the hotel. To steal a line from the documentary, it was like at the end, the guy's like, "I've been thinking about this movie so much, I feel like I'm lost in the Overlook Hotel myself." And I'm like, yeah,
Right,
that's
there you go.
that's exactly
100%.
that's exactly what will happen the second you start to think about literally any detail in this movie beyond what's presented in front of you. And it takes a particular type of madman like Kubrick to be like, I'm gonna take it one step further and start to poke fun about things that are like rumors about things in my own life, and things about like the moon landing, even like taking it from like just the source material, because like to rewind a little bit, this past year I read my first Stephen King novel. I've never read any Stephen King, but I read Carrie, and after reading Carrie, I feel like it made me understand a little bit more about like what his whole thing is in terms of like usually being like the baseline for Stephen King is like suburban settings where nightmares are just completely bubbling under the surface of what you might see. So yeah, it's like a story about a girl going to prom, but nope, she's actually psychic. She has like this clairvoyance, and like these other demonic things are at play within the town itself. And so when things start to fucking explode, it's like this terrible bloodbath of shit goes down. And so like I think when you look at something like The Shining, is like this whole setup of it's just a family going to a cabin, like to a hotel in the winter, like the shot of them in the car together, and it's just like they're driving up. You have like the fake back, like the backdrop behind them, and he's like, yeah, it's like, you know, he's like mentions murder or something. He's like, it's okay, honey, you heard about murder on the television. Like it's like super domestic, but also very like you get
but
this
super weird.
Yeah, it's super weird, super domestic, but you get like where the horror is like already seeping in. Like from the very beginning, just because you're looking at this family dynamic and you're like, something is up here, and like there's got to be something under this layer, because if you're just aware of just like how families work and everything, or you know, just if you're a part of one, if you watch TV or any movies, like you start to suspect like, okay, there's something happening under all of this, and and then once you open up that layer, it just doesn't end.
I love that scene because it's like the one chance at this family being normal, and maybe the most normal we see them, but like they're talking about the Donner Party and people eating themselves. It's just like
Yeah, it's like
you almost had it.
You literally like, you almost had it.
You had to bring up the Donner Party.
Yeah, I had to bring up the friggin' Donner Party, Danny. And I just love Jack Nicholson specifically in those moments, because he's very expressive with his face, and he's like, I don't know, like his physicality on screen really shines through, especially in the second and third act when he kind of really flips the switch. And anytime he's kind of just there staring directly down the camera, it's just like it I don't know, it just really
his performance is absolutely brilliant. Okay, so we're going to talk about the theories and everything, and maybe, get into a little bit more. But before we do, let's just, as if this was our first time watching this movie, let's talk about the what the fuck moments. Yeah. Just ones that really strike you.
There's a bunch.
There's a bunch. I'm going to go first on this one because I haven't gone first yet. I'm not even going to scratch the surface, really. I was like, this is a pretty basic list here.
Well, there's
number 5.
Yeah, there's a clear top 2 in my mind.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
We'll see. Number 5. I've got the hotel turning into the campy haunted mansion out of nowhere at the end. Where it's just she turns the corner and everybody's. It literally looks like a Disneyland ride, really
spooky
fast.
Skeletons.
It's like
Cobwebs.
Spooky skeletons and cobwebs. And she's just like, ah! And it's just like, well, that just happened to this movie. We just took a hard left turn.
I love it. Yeah.
Which is kind of the whole thing. Is just like, okay, there you go. There's your haunted mansion part. You're in a haunted hotel. No questions asked. Number 4, I've got, of course, and well, maybe this should be higher on my list now looking at it, but it's kind of a classic one. Number 4 is Jack in the picture at the end.
Yeah.
Kubrick has spoken on loving to end his movies with in the long list's words, what the fuck moment. He likes people leaving the theater continuously thinking about it, being like, wait a minute, what was that one last thing? Maybe flipping the whole movie on its head. Him showing up in the picture is still something that I'm like, there are moments in this where I'm like doing the math of like, wait, but what is that trying to say? I thought he was, is he being, well, we could pose this question later. Is he being possessed, or is he the ghost? Is he being possessed, or has he always been the ghost? Number 3, one of the scariest moments, gnarliest moments in this movie, Wendy reading Jack's manuscript, iconic, truly terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a amazing reveal where I can't even imagine people in the theater at the first. Well, I don't know if they liked it or not, but I can't even imagine people in the theater watching this for the first time.
Yeah.
There's such a build up to him clearly being secretive about what he's writing, him being very intense about what he's writing. We're almost an hour into this movie. We don't even know the book that he is writing. And then it ends up being all work and no works. And when she starts flipping through and it's like, oh, wow, he's really writing the same thing over. And then the formats start changing and then it turns into a screenplay. And it's like the actions of the screenplay are the same thing as the dialogue. And it's just like, whoo. It's great. And you know that there was like a PA who had to type all this shit up.
Yeah.
and just hated.
I didn't even think about that.
And just hated Kubrick.
Yeah, no, I just love that. Yeah, if just coming from I am a writer. I write screenplays, and so I just love just the fact that there's just so many there's like a little inverted pyramids and shit it's like he was really going crazy. He was cooking up just so many different ways to have the words be on the page. It's just so fucking hilarious. And the fact that it's a typewriter.
It's kind of cute. It's like, what's up, Jack?
He is going to work down there on that thing.
Number 2, I have the Grady bathroom scene. Super gnarly.
Yeah.
This is I talked about this a second ago, but Jack is the caretaker. He says, you've been the caretaker the whole time, but he's talking to Grady, but then Grady is still admitting to him taking care of his wife and his kids. He was the murderer.
Yeah.
Which Jack has heard about, Grady being the caretaker and killing his family, but then Grady is like, no, you're the caretaker.
Yeah.
So does that mean that Jack, or that the caretaker was always inspired by somebody else killing him?
Yeah.
Makes you think, which also kind of gets into one of the big theories is history repeating itself.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about in a bit. And number 1, I've got the bear blowjob. I don't know how else really to say it. Seen this movie 20 times and watched a whole documentary on it multiple times. Still couldn't tell you what's going on in that part.
It's really weird.
A true what the fuck moment.
I love it.
Who wants to go next?
I can.
Tommy,
I can go. All right. A little bit of intersection here. Number 5 for me is the moment that Grady spills the drink on Jack. It's a really subtle kind of thing, but that's another moment where it makes me. It just makes you start to think about.
I've got something to say.
Yeah.
No, you go first.
Okay.
I got something here.
I just think it's just a really fun moment where you're thinking about haunted houses and ghost stories, just like when the physical barrier gets broken and it's just okay, where is the line being crossed here? It's is he is he interacting with these ghosts, or is he being possessed? What is happening? The fact that this ghost spills this drink on him, and then that leads into this darker conversation and the eventual little deal that they have, or whatever, their agreement, whatever it is. But it's just a really small moment that just just links them together, and it just it just kind of.
There's only a couple moments where the physical and the spiritual or the supernatural intersect and actually physically change.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what I
didn't even think about that one.
That's kind of where I'm going for with the list, and so number 4 I have the demon blowing and the.
Wait, hold on, really fast. Really fast. So last night I was watching this movie again, and I paused it on accident. I think Alex had to get up and go to the bathroom. I paused it on accident right when Grady runs in, because he runs into a woman and then spills the drink on Jack.
Okay.
I paused it right as he's running into the woman, and I was looking at her dress, and I wasn't gonna bring this up until Alex sat back down, and she was like, what is this woman on her period or something? Because on her butt, or right where that is, it's like there's a red triangle right there.
Weird.
And then on her back there's it looks like she's bleeding kind of. And I would have never noticed it if I hadn't paused on this one screen grab of this exact moment. And
Interesting.
she and I were like talking about it, and we had to like run it back and see if it was just like a weird play of the shadows. But no, it's like a design on her dress. It's very weird.
Huh.
Interesting.
Sorry.
You know, I really like that.
It's
yeah.
a mini what the fuck moment within your what the fuck moment.
Yeah, no,
What?
that's awesome. I like
Layers.
that a lot. Yeah, that
What the fuck
and
attention.
that goes back to the whole Kubrick thing. Yeah, it's like everything's on screen for a reason, man. It's not an accident. So
Yeah.
so I think that's really sick.
Straight up.
Okay, so yeah,
You're number
speaking of
14.
things being on screen that aren't an accident. Yeah, the demon dog blowing the guy. I think it's you got a classic horror moment right there.
Is it a dog?
This is the thing. It's like, what is it? Like
I
it's
had
kinda-
it as a bear, too.
Yeah, it's like this weird bear thing.
It's like it's like a Winnie the Pooh mask.
Yeah,
I
There's a
have
lot of
that coming
Disney
up,
in this-
actually.
There's a lot of Disney in this movie, so maybe it is
Speaking
actually
of Letterboxd.
but yeah, it's just such a great striking image because it's clearly it's just like the way like the animal turns and looks is just very much like we both got caught. Like,
And then the
this is
dude
not supposed to be
sits up on the
happening.
bed, yeah.
It's like you're not supposed to be seeing this, but yeah, the fact that it's like definitely not an accident that it's like a white businessman in a suit that's like being like that's in that position. So I think Kubrick is doing something here where he's like, okay, like this whole hotel built on an Indian burial ground. There's a lot of notes on like genocide or like all of these like things of the past coming back to haunt us as like parts of the theories of this movie. And I think just having that businessman sort of being blown by the beast or whatever it is, it's just like this weird thing of like this connection between like the normal society or whatever with just like we got some eyes wide shut shit happening in this movie
Damn.
too.
Yeah.
And so I think
That's
that's
pretty
really
good. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. And then number 3, I have Grady opening the door for Jack. I think this is one of the true like kind of moments of like another unexplained kind of thing where he is clearly locked in there by someone who was physically in this hotel and then released by the power of the hotel itself. And so he kind of goes to like, is he there? Is he a ghost? Like, what is happening? What is his connection? Is he now just a part of the hotel? Who fucking knows? But it's just a great subtle thing where it's like,
It's a big turning point.
yeah,
It is.
It's a great turning point, but it's also like in
like,
the midst of like the orchestra that this movie is. It's like you can almost just miss it and not even think about it because like of course something
100%.
weird is gonna happen. Of course he's gonna get let out, but it's like the way he's like speaking to him on the other side, and he's just like, we gotta. Even like the way that Grady speaks to him in the bathroom, where he's just like, it's like my daughter, like she tried to burn down the hotel, and then I corrected her. It's just like everything post that point is just like it's just super fucking weird.
Grady is the last person I want to get a drink with in this movie. I think.
No. Thumbs down for Grady, not the homie. Number 2, I just like the ballroom wide shot. I didn't really mention like the woman getting spilled on, but just like Jack walking through when he's walking through the one part of the hallway and then he crosses over and it's like one long shot and then we go in and it's just like the ballroom is filled with people. I don't know, I just got like an eerie feeling watching it kind of multiple times over because it just made things feel a little bit more lived in. And I think more about the line that the hotel manager says early on when Wendy's like, you guys have like movie stars here and royalty, and he's just like all the best people. And then I think about like that room. It's just like like are these like who are these people and like like what are their intentions?
Yeah, what's
as a
going
whole?
on?
And so I just think more about like those kind of connections and Jack kind of exemplifying that with. Like when he's talking to the bartender, then he just kind of goes down this rabbit hole. It's like, this guy's not a good dude. And my number 1 what the fuck moment, I like the second elevator flood because for whatever reason, the first time we see it, I think is in that montage of Danny doing The Shining and having these premonitions before entering the hotel. But when we see it through Wendy's eyes and she's like running through and seeing all these insane images, I don't know. I just felt it just feels a little bit more alarming.
Sinister.
Yeah, it feels more sinister. I think I just more focused on just like how, like the how and the why. When you just see
I
it
forgot
again.
that the second time you see it, it's Wendy seeing it, and then you don't really get the consequences. And I remember, like the last time I watched it, I was just like, "Wait, what's going on here? Like, how does this work?"
Yeah, and so it just feels just kind of different, just contextualizing of like when she's there, it's not like a premonition. It's like no, she's being tricked essentially. She's like it's the hotel like trying to freak her out, like in the same way where it's like showing her the room full of skeletons and stuff that aren't there. But yeah, just giving her these images, and yeah, just seeing it the second time just made me just appreciate it more and just being like, oh damn, like this is way more real. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's me.
Wild.
Good
All
list,
right,
T.
well,
Josh.
very good list. Okay, I'm surprised we didn't have as many repeats as I thought, but here we go.
We're doing
I got
great.
the woman in the I got the woman in the bathtub when she turns old. I was like, what the hell? Then Scatman Crothers talking to Danny through his mind the first time when it happens, when he's talking to the mom, and then like he
Amazing.
starts whispering in the mind and he turns over to him. Oh. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was wild. Then when you see the twins the very first time, man, this dog keeps running in my court. Get out of here, dog. Love you, but get out of here. It's not even my dog. When you see the twins the first time where Danny's up on the chair, I forget what he's doing. Oh, no, he's playing darts. And then he turns around and they're just there.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Oof."
They're just there.
I also had the costume bear giving a blowjob to the dude in the tuxedo. Still
Iconic.
don't get that one. And then my guy,
He got us a
Scatman
little
Crothers-
closer with his explanation.
Yeah, it was really good. I was like, oh, okay. And then my guy, Scatman Crothers, getting murdered by an axe. Oh, my God. What the hell? I mean, I
Rip.
guess you could say that's like a scary scene. It was just, to me, it wasn't real scary. It was just like, what the fuck is happening?
No,
Oh, my God.
I think about that kill a lot because that's another one where it's a steady cam shot. We're following him as he's walking through the space.
It's super long.
Jack is there
Yeah.
the entire time just waiting for
Yeah.
him. And so it's just like, holy shit. It's like when you watch that multiple times, it's like, holy shit. He's probably just back there just like,
Yeah.
fucking waiting. It's just like,
Not only
And
that-
I was just like, wait, where does he pop out from? Like, I couldn't remember where he pops out from. And it takes so long to get there. You're just waiting and waiting.
yeah, and then he screams
Yeah.
right before he does. He's like, ah! It's like, it's
And
just-
not only that, but we
Yes.
touched on this in an earlier podcast. I don't remember which one we touched on this, but we've talked about it before. You basically get a whole nother second movie with Dick Halloran as the main, Scatman Crothers as the main guy going, like he's going to become this hero and save Danny.
Yeah.
And they
Right.
really
They
take
put
their time.
so much work into it.
yeah.
They really take
That's
their
kind
time
of like a what the
getting him-
fuck moment within itself.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's just gone, like by axe, death by axe.
Yeah, super,
really gnarly.
super brutal. And I think that's a really modern thing that the movie was ahead of its time. It's like, it's a
Game of Thrones.
really brutal, quick. Yeah, and also kind of in the vein of like, it might be a little bit of a reach, but like in the vein of Scream, where it's like, you have someone, you think that they're protected by the plot, and then nope, they're not. They're gone. And so,
They're not.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think props to them.
That's a good one. Real quick, since we talked about it so much now, I'm going to give a fun top 5 that I came up with myself. This is my favorite Letterboxd reviews from Letterboxd. Here we go. From something named Chorley, Chxorli. Red rum? Sounds excellent. I'll have 2. From Casper. I'm starting to get why people are horny for Jack Nicholson. From Lubchansky. I feel like I would have been nicer. I feel like I would have had a nicer time at the hotel. Writing isn't that hard, and I love my wife.
Writing isn't that hard. Is amazing.
I mean, hey, man, I don't know.
That's
From
amazing.
Kenneth Clark, Winnie the Pooh blows a guy. And from Eric, a tuxedo-clad man with a furry fetish has the best night of his life, rudely interrupted by a marital dispute. So anyway, I thought those were
That's
funny.
wild.
I love that.
Pretty good. So we've like tiptoed around the subject. Let's talk about theories. Okay, so this movie is always like since its inception, pretty much people have been picking it apart.
This is also
a
probably
lot of
where we
these-
should explain what Room 237 is, because we've kind of touched on it. I don't really know that we've really told people what it is
Well-
if they don't know what it is.
Room 237 is a documentary that came out in 2012, directed by Rodney Asher. It dives deep into fan theories based on this movie. None of these theories are really confirmed, though some like actually are less of theories and more of like readings and breakdowns. And the film itself it's actually, I really like the documentary and the way it's done. There's no talking heads. You're just getting people, essentially like 5 people talking about their theories, and they kind of intersect it. It's edited in a pretty nice way. Kind of like loses the plot towards the end. I feel like it kind of trails off. But for a while, I'm just like, wow, this is absolutely fascinating. So much. There's so much stuff. I don't want this to turn into a 5-hour podcast right now. So I'm trying to figure out a way to like fly through this. So one of my favorite general themes or general theories is that it is a movie about history itself and history repeating itself. The Overlook Hotel is kind of embodies itself as history, ornate structure built on violence, and it's built on top of an Indian burial ground. Kind of as Tommy T implied, seems like there's a lot of rich white people who are coming here, and death obviously continues to happen over and over and over again, and like the whole Jack is the caretaker. He was always the caretaker. That itself right there is history repeating itself. Two of the big theories are actual that the film is like an allegory on genocide, one of which is the Holocaust, the other of which is the Native American genocide. Jeffrey Cox in Room 237 gives the breakdown of the Holocaust allegory. The typewriter is kind of one of his main pinpoints. It's an Adler, a German typewriter. Adler means eagle, which is a very German symbol. It's also just a German word. Typewriters are very much symbols of the lists and things that were created. Obviously, in like Schindler's List, it was a big symbol, or comes up a lot. 42, like 1942, comes up a lot of this movie. Room 237, 2 + 3 + 7. Or I'm sorry, 2 times 3 times 7 is 1942. 42 is seen on Danny's shirt, it's seen on TV channels.
Jack wears an eagle shirt.
Jack wears an eagle shirt. Yeah. A bunch of film things like that. Do you guys have a comment on the Holocaust one? Should I move on to Native American?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's all there. I think when I was listing them out, I'm like, they kind of bleed together for me because, there's several moments in this movie where there's images that we're seeing, and then like it could very easily be like, okay, like you have a transition from like one frame to another, and it's fading, and in the crossfade you have like things happening. Like one of the things that they mention is like there's like a group of people, and then in the crossfade those people turn into luggage, and it's like these weird kind of connections. The whole thing with the typewriter, and mentioning like the Holocaust being this bureaucratic thing that required a lot of lists and typing, and so it's like a lot of those things are definitely like they're on the screen, so it's definitely like it's possible to make those connections. And I think
knowing that it's Kubrick, it feels like it's purposeful.
Yeah, and especially
that's what I was gonna say, is that it's hard for me to believe, like when I'm listening to the documentary, that someone can layer in this many things about what the movie is about. And we don't necessarily need to go into all the details, but they're there. If you want to see the movie, go see it. It's on Tubi. It's easy to watch, and they'll break it down for you. But the fact that it's Kubrick and he's well known for being so meticulous about what he puts into each frame makes this a little bit more plausible. Like some of these things, like Jack, you know this, I'm really into A Song of Ice and Fire, the Game of Thrones books, and I read all the theories. Most of them probably aren't true, but I love it anyway. So it kind of, the documentary for me kind of reads something like that, where this stuff might not be true, but if that's what you get out of it, that's fine, But the fact that it's Kubrick doing it makes it a little bit more plausible that this stuff was done with this level of intentionality.
Yeah. It's certainly one of my favorite aspects of this movie, and why I love watching it is just because it's just like, it's a feast for,
crows
ripping it apart and just like, and just, making stuff up, if that.
Yeah.
Obviously the most famous one is that this was Kubrick's admission to helping fake the moon landing.
Yeah.
Which always is kind of my most eye-rolly theory about this, and then I watched
kind of
Room
fun.
237. Yeah, and then I watched Room 237. I'm like, it's kind of convincing.
Yeah.
Of course, one of the biggest points to it is that Danny is wearing an Apollo 11 sweater that you can't think really existed before this movie. Like he was like, somebody knit me an Apollo 11 sweater right now, please.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, maybe. And he's like, he's gathered around his toy trucks, and then he stands up, and it looks like, the moon, or it looks like
the rocket
launching. Tanking launch. Thank you. 237. The moon is 237,000 miles away from us.
Also, if someone goes and facts check that, apparently that's not true. But at the time, it was common knowledge.
Yeah,
right.
Like
that's what they thought at the time.
At the time, that's what they thought. Sorry.
Jack's job. One of my favorite crash outs of this movie is, it's not. I'm laughing at it because I've seen this movie like a billion times. But when he's talking and he's like, don't you understand that I have a contract? That the people who hired me, it's like, dude, we just met those two guys who hired you. There's nothing like going on here. Nobody cares. Like,
you are
taking this way too seriously. Like, what are you talking about? But people are saying like that.
They just don't want you to burn the place down.
They just don't, exactly. You have to flip a couple of switches. But like in the theory, that's him saying, I work for the CIA essentially.
Yeah, that's the part where I don't
awesome.
like. That's the stretch I'm not okay with, because they're like, they word it as like, that's like Kubrick talking to his wife. I was like, don't put words in his mouth. Like, that's like, unless you have like proof of like, Kubrick actually like flipping out over like with his spouse about like some shit like that. I think that's pretty big of a stretch. I do like. If it's on the screen, if it's in the frame, then I think it's totally worthwhile to dig into it. That's why I like the launch thing, like him standing up, the pattern on the actual carpet looking like the actual patterns of like the NASA, like whatever, like they show like a picture of that. I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking close. Like that's hard to argue, but like the argument, I do see where the argument is going.
I do think that there's something that stands out in this movie without even thinking about the Apollo thing, is like there are moments where they're like, oh, he came highly recommended, like the guy or the hotel boss in the interview
from the people in Boulder.
Yeah, from the people in Boulder, he came highly recommended. It's like he's a writer and a school teacher. Like, what did they recommend him for as far as this hotel? Plus, he seems absolutely insane. So, like, who are these people recommending him? But that honestly does feel like kind of like Kubrick was highly recommended, because he is a good filmmaker or something, or like could make this. I don't know. It does stand out to me. There's weird shit with the job part of this.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say that if you're willing to suspend belief on certain of these aspects, and I'm not saying they're not true, I have no idea, but if you're willing to go there, the clues are there to strengthen your resolve with with any of the theories. The clues are there.
Yeah.
Whether or not you choose to believe them, I think is up to everybody. I think that's the other thing too. We talked about this in a podcast. I don't remember when. I keep saying that. But a message is both sending and receiving. Whether this stuff was intentionally put in there or not, who knows? It seems like a lot of it probably was. But the fact that people are getting this out of it is super cool.
There are many things that are seemingly purposefully trying to throw you off that you may not ever notice. My favorite of which is the window thing. I love the fucking window thing. This movie pointed out the window thing to me and never knew it before. And now anytime I'm watching it and I'm with someone, I'm like, all right, watch this. The window thing being that when Jack is coming in to the interview, I also don't know exactly how they filmed this. They must have built in a separate set, because it's all one shot. He's coming in, it's all one shot. There's no cuts. He walks down a hallway. You can see down that hallway because of his expert deep focus that he loves to do. You can see down that hallway. You can clearly see that hallway turns left. He, before turning left, goes down left into a different door and then into another room where he is in an office with a window. Spatially, there would have
That
been
window should be in the hallway that you
window
just got established.
That window would not be there. There's a window to an outside. It looks beautiful. It's super bright. It's like a totally different place. He was just in the hallway that you could see goes down left, and there wouldn't be a window in this square hotel.
Yeah.
So there are things like that. There's also like the first Danny trick is like a perfect loop or trick. The first Danny cruising around the hotel in his tricycle is like a perfect loop that gives you an actual good understanding of the hotel layout. The second one starts to get a little weird. Yeah, there's one moment where you can tell he's like in the basement, where the kitchen is, and then he turns a corner and the camera cuts seemingly like he's in the same thing, but he's upstairs in one of the hallways, and that's the first time that he sees the girls. There's a bunch of stuff like that, a bunch of spatial shit in this hotel that makes no sense.
Yeah, there's a part where Dick Halloran and the mom, Wendy, and Danny go into in the closet where he first shines with Danny for the first time. And then when they come out of the, I keep saying closet, pantry, whatever. When they come out of the pantry, it's a different hallway. They come out of the same door, and it looks totally different.
Messing with
yeah.
your physical, spatial connection to it. They're like totally just messing with the audience and being like, if you're really looking, if you're really paying attention, you're gonna be completely disoriented.
Yeah.
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 Also, a tiny little one that they pointed out. Maybe this will be the last thing we touch on is the dopey sticker on the door. It's the shot of where you see Danny for the first time shine in the bathroom, and he eventually like passes out. But the camera zooms in on him, and on the door there's a bunch of stickers, and one of them is a Dopey from the Seven Doors sticker. Another Disney imagery. And then the next time you see the door after he is shined, essentially knowing more and less dopey, maybe, the dopey sticker is gone. And like we're saying, Kubrick, extremely meticulous. There's no way he's going to mess up this continuity error, or that he would ever let someone just come into a set and like take a sticker off of a wall. It's the smallest little detail, but clearly it means something. And that's just some of that subliminal imagery that he loves to put in. All right, we're going to do scariest moments, and then we're going to finish out with our top 5 best scenes.
We'll power through.
We're probably going to have a lot of repeats here. All right, I'm going to go first on scariest moments. Number 5. Very iconic. I got Jack Nicholson breaking down the door. I didn't think that this was going to be in my scariest moments, but watching it last night, it's really scary. And he's cooking little pigs. Like, what is happening? And her performance is I touched on it earlier. At this moment, just like pure terror, pure real terror. It's like it takes you out of the goofiness of kind of the campy, her running through the haunted hotel, all that stuff. This is like, she is absolutely like terrified. Number 4, Danny's not here, Mrs. Torrance.
Oh yeah.
So when and I forgot about this, but he's gone for a couple scenes. Like he's gone in that moment. Yeah. It's Tony talking at that point. And he's like not even looking at her, and she's just like, what is happening? Like, ooh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I can't even imagine being a parent of a child and then this happening. And then like the next scene, they're walking together and he's still Tony. He's not back to being Danny.
Yeah.
It's not until she sees the red rum thing, or it's not until, I don't even know what happens. I can't remember. Number 3, I've got Jack checking out room 237. Doesn't really hit me as much anymore, but I can still remember the first time I watched this movie that movie, that scene just affecting me the most, being like, okay, I did not like that. That was really, really scary. I wasn't ready for that. I've been having a fun time being just slightly thrilled and in suspense, and that was just a whole other thing. Number 2, I got Mr. Halloran getting it.
Yeah.
I think the scariest part of is just the buildup, and he's walking down that long hallway. You don't know when it's happening. Even when you know that it's going to come, you still don't know when it's going to come.
Yeah.
All right. And then my number 1 is about I couldn't tell you, maybe a 10-minute stretch here. Danny in the hallway. Oh, it might be the Apollo thing, because it's when the ball rolls up to him. It starts with that. It's the music is really doing all the work here, doing a lot of the work here. Super creepy. Ball rolls down to him. No one's around. He says, "Mom." He successfully, this time he's tried it before. He successfully opens up the door, goes into the room. We cut to Wendy working on some machine somewhere, and then we hear Jack start screaming.
Yeah.
It's really terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
It's far away. There's a long shot of her saying, "Jack," and then she runs down the hallway. She runs all the way through the hotel all in one shot, goes into the room. He's at the typewriter screaming. He's having a nightmare. He wakes up. He says, "I had just had the worst nightmare ever. I killed you both. But not only did I kill you both, I chopped you up into little bits." It's like, dude, whoa, your choice of language right now is really terrifying. We go from that to Danny coming into the room slowly. The music's still terrifying us. We see Wendy from afar, notice him coming in. She says, "Danny, it's fine. You go into the other room. Your dad's fine." He doesn't stop walking. She says, "Danny, don't listen. Aren't you listening to me?" Then she starts walking to him. Then she slows down and notices something that we can't see yet. We get the reverse shot of her discovering that he's I guess it's not a reverse shot yet. She goes all the way up to him, and then she turns him. We can finally see that his sweater is ripped. He's got these marks on his face. She says, "Danny, what happened to you? What did you do? All this stuff." Then you get the reverse shot of behind Jack, and she slowly turns to him, and comes over the realization of what she thinks is like, "You did this," and she's like, "What did you do? You did this. Why did you do this?" And then it cuts back to him, and he has the gnarliest I don't think that I did this. I did not do this. Sort of expression on his face. Yeah, that whole stretch is just absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. There's my top 5.
For me, if you don't mind, Josh, I have the door moment. Also, I
Go
think
for it.
My favorite part of that door, of him breaking the door scene, is the one shot we get is just of Shelley Duvall there, like kind of cowering in the corner, and we're just seeing the axe work its way through the door, and it's just like, fuck, man, like this is just real.
Yeah.
He's on the other side chopping his way through. That is what's being filmed, and that's what's happening. Yeah, and that's what's happening. Right. It just feels
she has nowhere to go.
Fucking real. Yeah, that. Also, have
super scary.
Is very creepy. The long shot of him approaching is just really fucking well done. Yeah, and then Jack screaming as he in the little brief moment he screams before the swing. It's really, really terrifying. I want to go back to the for number 3, back to the moment where Wendy discovers the typewriter and the manuscript that he's been writing. There's a shot where Jack is approaching from behind her, and it's basically like a brief little moment where he's just completely in a silhouette, and he's just completely darkness as he's approaching her, and it's just it feels like a specter is just approaching her, and then he steps into the light, and then it he feels a little bit more like a person at that moment. But yeah, it's just really, really fucking well done in that moment. I like when the light is able to tell the story, and I think there's a lot of moments like that in this movie. At number 2, I have the Red Room scene, but more emphasizing Danny's voice and the fact, kind of going from just the whisper of just Red Room, until it gets more more strained as he's just standing there, the whole moment of him going like walking up there, grabbing the knife, cutting himself, going to the mirror, and then grabbing the lipstick. It's just like it's just fucking just so real and just like what like
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what I can't believe he cuts himself.
Yeah, the sound is
just like,
real
oh my
heavy
God,
lifting there.
we're
It's
cooked.
really fucking good.
This is gonna be good.
And then, I think my most terrifying scene is Jack and Grady in the bathroom, and just like the red and white of like the setting of that room, and then just their conversation. It just gets darker and worse. Like it's just the shit that they're talking about is just fucking insane. And then once you get the reveal that once Grady goes full racist and it's just like, okay, it's like I need you like kill this black man. It's just like it takes an even more sinister turn because like, okay, now like the evils that were sort of hinted about in like the earlier parts of this movie are now like fully being flipped over, and it's like it's like okay, it's like even Jack is like he drops the heart in too, and it's like okay, he's also like he's drunk in the Kool-Aid. Yeah, he's drunk in the Kool-Aid too, and it's like
takes a whole other turn.
Like not only is
it certainly does,
and he's racist, he's like abusive. It's like, oh fuck, like we really don't know this guy. Like we think we know him, or how he's pretending to be, and everything just really unfolds in that bathroom scene. And I think a lot of the horrors of this movie can either be like physical, like things in terms of like the elevator opening up and it's just blood gushing everywhere, or we're seeing like him being lost in the labyrinth, but just that conversation between two men, and it's like one man is sort of just being dragged to the past in all of these demons. It just feels so fucking real because it's like, like those conversations happen every day. It's like and it feels fucking super real.
Super gnarly. All right, I'm gonna quickly blow through mine. Chasing Danny through the maze, very scary, very effective. When he's staring at them when they're playing outside, they're like playing. I forget what they're playing. Him and his mom are playing outside. He's just fucking staring through the window at them, and in like the creepiest way. Just like, totally wild.
I love that. It's such a great choice. It's just like it's at some point Kubrick was like, all right, in this part they're going to be playing, and you're just going to be staring at them, and it's
really creepy.
Happen, it's like all right.
Sleep deprived Jack hugs Danny when he comes into the room, and he like gives him a big old hug, and it's like this guy's totally crazy. And then I have number 2 when Jack absolutely snaps and he's climbing up against, Tommy T touched on it. He's like a specter behind her at first. She sees all the writing. Then he's following her up the stairs as she's like swinging the bat. Really scary. And then when Danny sees the girls in the hallway and their murdered bodies kind of like flash on the screen a couple times, I was like, whoa, that was like caught me off guard. Whoa. And it's scary. So anyway, it's a scary movie.
Super scary. Not a lot of jump scares though. I was actually talking to Becky, your wife, Josh, and I was telling her that it's more suspenseful and all this stuff. There's not a lot of jump scares. I was like, literally, like, think the biggest jump scare is when the title card of Wednesday, because there's this long buildup of strings. It builds and builds and builds, and then finally it's just like Wednesday out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Bum.
We were ready for it though after you said that.
Right. Yeah. All right. Top 5 best scenes. Let's hear it. Tommy, you go
going
first.
back to your shout out to the scene with Wendy and Wendy and the therapist. I think it's really fucking fantastic. Like them going back and forth, and
really
just like the subtle acting in that is just really fantastic. And just like her in the center of the frame, it's really colorful. It's really beautifully just like shot, and she's just like explaining, like he just had a few too many. And it is kind of like things turned. Number 4, the opening aerials and transitions. I think I continually kind of go back to those. And Jack, you mentioned the music, and I want to give it a shout out here. Yeah, the opening synth is one of the best. Like this movie is now starting. You can't escape it. It's just like a drone, like a wah wah. Like it just is literally like the notes are like pulling you in. And I think like people kind of always when talking about like Jurassic Park, like, oh yeah, John Williams, like the movie is doing like a lot of really heavy lifting, is contributing a lot to what's making this really work. And I think that's true for this too. Is I think the synthesizers are fantastic in that opening scene.
Well, and when it's funny because when it's not a synthesizer in that opening scene, it's just like a sound of someone wailing, like the synth stops, and then it's just like, Wah! It's just like, what?
Then,
how's this even a score? The compositions were done by Wendy Carlos and Rachel Elkind.
Yeah. Number 3, I have Wendy. And
good job
Danny,
by them.
Sorry, Wendy and Danny explore the maze. Yeah, and Jack watching over like the Minotaur. That's one of the theories mentioned in 237 of like the hedge maze is a labyrinth, and the Lord of the Labyrinth is the Minotaur, and the Minotaur is like this beast that you have to like escape from. And yeah, Jack with the eyebrows and like the head down, like like that straightforward shot really emphasizes that. Yeah, and Josh, you mentioned him looking over the like the model of the maze as like they're kind of cross sectioning. Yeah, that's just like filmmaking at its best. You just have like the actual real plot stuff going on and like this meta play of it that's just really sinister. Number 2, the reverse of Wendy explaining to the therapist of what happened to Danny's arm when Jack is talking about it at the bar. Holy shit! That really fucking got me, because the line that I think is like the thing that really hooked me is when he's talking to the bartender, he's talking to Lloyd, and he's just like, it could have happened to anyone. And I was just like, oh man, like if that is true, then then Jack Torrance truly is
he's
like a
really
menace to society, and does not need to be like in charge of this hotel if like a couple drinks in, like, yeah, man, any party, I could dislocate anyone's shoulder tonight. Like that's not a human being you want to hang out with and want to be associated with. If that's like the bar, like the bar of violence is like fucking happen to anyone, man. Like I will fuck people up. And so yeah, him confessing that to Lloyd is fucking really real to me.
Yeah.
And then when my favorite scene in the movie is when Halloran's talking to Danny and they're like having like their basically like having their conversation about The Shining and him telling him what it is and how to help out and talking about the hotel, and he's like asking if Tony ever told him about the hotel or anything, and he mentions it and he just says places can hold memories. And I think that is like I think that idea is very potent in horror films and really popular and a huge trope of like haunted houses or whatever. But I think that's a thing that's just true, period. I think that's like something, you don't have to be a stoner or a hippie or a spiritual or religious or whatever. If you walk into a space that has had violence happen in the past or whatever, if you walk into these historical places, like, you know, go to like Gettysburg or like go to like these older places on like in the actual earth, you will feel that shit. That shit is real. Like the energies of places is a very real thing, especially in places where a lot of history has happened and a lot of like, you know, for lack of better words, a lot of atrocities may have happened. Like there's moments where like if you've traveled the world, if you've had the privilege to like go to these other places, that shit is real. I'm not saying like haunted houses and ghosts and stuff is real, but like the energies of those places and the history of those places permeate. And that, I think that's a very real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I massively felt it when I went to New Orleans for the first time. I can. That's like one of the biggest experiences of feeling that. Nice.
Sweet.
I love that. T. Good call. Josh, let's hear it.
Number 5. Here's Johnny. That was a great scene. Number 4, the maze. There's going to be some overlap here. Number 3, I had the ballroom scene, which is always really fun. He's talking to the bartender, all the stuff Tommy just talked about. Actually, I think that might have been the first bartender scene he was talking about. But either way,
well, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the second one where he's talking to the bartender again.
Love that one.
And your money's no good here.
The new
and
I'm the type of guy who likes to know who's buying their drinks for me.
Yeah, that one. The reveal, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy is my number 2, and then number 1, I had the same one, Dick Halloran talking with Danny. I thought that was a great scene, and it really sets up. This is a weird movie, but like you kind of like get the point of the movie right there in that scene. It's a good little explanation without really knocking you over the head with it. Yeah. It's good stuff. It's really good and good acting and a nice little like deep breath in before we get really fucking weird.
100%. Number 5, I had the maze. Number 4, I'm surprised this didn't make. Well, I guess I'm not surprised. Number 4, I had The Interview. I love that scene.
Oh,
We haven't
yeah.
really- I guess
yeah.
It's so weird. I just really quickly, right off the bat, this really struck me. So, Jack says this would be a great place for a ski resort, and he's like, yeah, we'd have to clear the roads with a snowcat, and we wouldn't make our money back, or it's like skiing is a huge thing. You got ski posters up in the background of multiple of your scenes. The ski industry is actually a booming thing, and was at this time. Clearing roads, it's kind of like a normal thing, and probably wouldn't be that expensive. Right off the bat, you're like, all right, they don't want people in this hotel during the winter.
Got it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird stuff with that scene. Where was I? Number 3, let's make a new rule.
Yeah.
If I'm in here and you hear me typing, or whether you don't hear me typing,
yeah.
or whatever the fuck you hear me doing, don't come in here. It's just like the first time he freaks out, and her reaction is just heartbreaking, and he crushes her. It's just like, and he caps it off with being like, let's start right now and get the fuck out of here, or something like that. And she's just like, okay. I don't even like, it's rough. And that's also the scene with one of my, I was like number 3 on my list is favorite shots, is where, she rips off the thing. Number 2, I have the first Lloyd scene. So this is the next scene after that long strip of scenes that I said was my number 1 scary parts. So it goes from that, like Jack or Wendy yelling at Jack and her running away to Jack in the hallway, just cooking, just I don't even know what he's doing. He's just like kind of like moving his thing around. He's just having a fit. And then he goes in, he obviously has this either hallucination or haunting, has a great conversation. It's a really good back and forth, and you're just like, okay, something's up here. And then, so there's that whole scene that I talked about where he's accused of hurting Danny. Then he has this scene where he's clearly having a hallucination and is losing his mind. Then she comes running in, and she's like, Jack, you need to help. We need to leave. There's a crazy woman in one of the rooms, and she's the one who hurt Danny. All right, so he's immediately off the hook. He also just had this whole hallucination. His response to that is, are you out of your fucking mind? That's the next thing he says. It's like, bro, you just got off the hook. Like, just let it go or something. I don't know. I love it. And then number 1, I've got, pretty much the same as yours, but I'm including the whole walkthrough of the hotel with the family for the first time, that eventually leads into the first Shining that they have together, and then leads into their nice little conversation. That stretch is just like my favorite part of the movie. It's just like a visual feast for the eyes, because you can just see so many things, and I'm looking for so many things, and it's just great. Excellent. Number 8 movie of all time for me. Haha.
Nice. We did it. I was thinking we should probably just run through our top 25 lists and do episodes on all the movies at some point.
I'm into it. Especially the ones that deserve, list making. But yeah, guys, any other closing thoughts?
Give a shout out to Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep starring Ewan McGregor as an older Danny who is now like the whole I don't want to spoil the plot of that movie, but it goes deeper into the details of like how The Shining works and what happens when there are people who are like hunting down those people and like the results of that. And it is one of the few like sequels to a horror movie that comes really later on that I think it absolutely works, because it's very truthful to the source material. And like, again, I think going back to like Stephen King and mentioning like, his whole thing of like these suburban nightmares being a really great foundation for horror. I think it kind of just goes back into those ideas and those thoughts in a really interesting way. And the cast of that movie is fantastic. And we have some really good fun moments between Danny's main character, like in the ways he like meets and communicates with other people who have The Shining is really kind of cool. Yeah, and it's just a really good like follow up that has a lot of like throwbacks to images, but it's not doing it in a way that's like really hokey.
I threw it on the other night and had never seen it before, and was I think I had just too much going on up in my mind. I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that they're adding lore to this thing that is all about theories. Even though I was kind of digging what was going on, it was also late, and so I bailed. But I'll throw it back on, especially after that review. I didn't realize that you liked it so much. I'm down. So I talked to somebody else recently who was like, "That movie is super solid," and so I'm convinced. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. This was fun.
This is
glad we could do it. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, definitely got to do it. 100%.
We'll definitely have you on again. Yeah, we'll do one in person. Maybe we'll get Adam on one with you. That'd be fun. The four of us.
Yeah.
It would be wild. Well, thanks, guys.
The
Thanks
Shining.
everybody for listening.
Good movie.
The Shining. Number 8.
All right.
Yep.
So you guys do goodbyes here. You do like.
Wendy, I'm home.
Pretty much just like that.
All right,
thanks
peace.
for listening, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.